Uh, well, 3 opal is kind of been on the decline. It's actually an increase from where we started. So I guess to get into the deck list, because it's telling me I have no viewers, but clearly there's some people here. Um, but uh, some of the differences from this and earlier lists I've been doing, like the 5.0 I got published with, um, is that we have the second defense grid over the first duress in the main deck, uh, which allowed us to cut the defense grid from the sideboard to allow for the fourth empty that warrants to come back. Um, so this puts us on a lot more artifacts in the main deck, and I just wanted to see what would happen if we're playing uh, a split of moxes and opals, because normally we'd be doing something like 4 moxes and 2 opals. I just want to see what happens with 3/3 and uh, see if that screws with things. Yeah, I think I'm about ready to start. Let's hop into the league. Um, so yeah, it'd be nice if Twitch told me how many viewers I was actually getting, but it's fine. um, so I've had a lot of success with Wishclaw. I've really liked it. All right, playing against XJ Clouds. This is gonna be fun. So yes, we'd like to go first. Um, so I think against, well, I don't know, XJ Cloud can kind of play whatever, but he's normally a Death and Taxes streamer. Um, but he's been playing a more variety of this. Um, so I don't think I'd keep this hand against Death and Taxes if that's what he's playing. Oh well. But I am just going to keep this. We are going to play around Wasteland by leading on Mire. Um, and this hand should convert pretty quickly into a turn 2 kill, because next turn we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, and Brainstorm plus our draw step will probably find us Tutor and an additional mana to make goblins or something. Alright, yeah. So they are playing Death and Taxes. Alright, Delta's not the greatest, but that's why we have Brainstorm. Alright, Empty's pretty good. So how do we maximize Storm here? Actually, I don't think we can cast Empty this turn, which is a little bit awkward. Because we don't have another black card to pitch to, a black or red card to pitch to this Chrome Mox. So I'm going to put back Brainstorm in a land. And then we're going to try this. So I don't want to lose to Thalia. So what could we find off this Brainstorm? We'd need to find like Petal black card. That just seems unlikely. I think it's less, well, I think casting Brainstorm here is sketchy, but I think we have to do it. So, because I'd rather not give them a turn 2. So let's snag Underground Sea, cast this Brainstorm. Well, that did it. So we're going to put back Tarn under Brainstorm, or Tarn on Tarn under Brainstorm. We're going to play Lotus Petal. And this should be a Stoneforge Mystic as well, I believe, because Storm is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to make 14 goblins on turn 2. Well, we drew the Volcanic naturally, so there wasn't really an opportunity to play around Wasteland there. Also, if I get Wastelanded at this point, it's fine. I have 14 goblins in play. So. I will be thrilled if they Wasteland me next turn, honestly. And because we had Bloodstained Mire, we can't fetch Basic Island. I would like my opponent to let this Lotus Petal resolve, though. So I guess while we wait for this Lotus Petal to resolve, I've really been enjoying playing with Witchclaw Talisman. I think the card's very powerful. I've been seeing it in a lot of Ant lists, which has been kind of surprising to me, um, just based upon how I thought it would interact with Passing Planes, but turns out it just makes their ad nauseum like not bad, just makes it a lot better. So that's like a good reason for them to be playing it. For us, it's basically just a ninth tutor effect, and it's the worst one in the deck out of the 8 tutors, 8 burning wishes. Um, but it's definitely got some play to it that I didn't expect, especially just like running it out and having it sit there in play to answer whatever your opponent is doing. And I think most opponents at this point are like so overwhelmed by this card that they, oh, there we go. Um, they're pretty overwhelmed by how to play against the card in terms of just like not wanting to give it back because they're more scared of that than anything. All right, opponent. Here's 14 1/1s. I think our opponent is attempting to do math to see if something beats us, but apparently they don't have it, so. Oh, thanks for the follow, Rock Daddy. So, against Death and Taxes, Defense Grid is very bad. Um, Chain of Vapor and Crash is good. So the interesting thing about Crash is that Crash is really there for their Chalice of the play of the Void on 0 on the play, but it's less clear if they have that at this point because of the printing of Deafening Silence. So I think I'm going to wait to see if we see Chalice, because it's probably going to be on 0, so Chain of Vapor can answer it. And then because we're on the draw, we're going to bring in these extra Empty the Wardens over Ponder. Because Ponder usually, if we keep a Ponder hand, that's usually not very fast enough. And if we just have so many threats, we're going to have a threat to deploy against them on turn 1. That's the plan. So things I like about this hand, it has a Thoughtseize and a Chain of Vapor. Things I don't like about this hand, it can't really play around Wasteland. It's not very fast, and so I think we can do better on 6. This is a much better 6. So we have the Chain of Vapor, we have the opportunity to play around Wasteland. I'm actually going to put back the Brainstorm here, because I think that casting Ponder will be better on turn 1, because this is probably convert into a turn 2 tail. Our opponent has gone to 5, so they're mulling hard for the Thalia, so we're going to ditch Brainstorm. Because really we just want to find a Lion's Eye Diamond with this hand, and then like Echo of Eons them on turn 1. That's kind of where my head is at, because right now we have 5 mana total between a land, a petal, and a Dark Ritual. So I also have a second defense grid, and I don't have any Duresses, Unorthodox Bird. So, alright, so he is playing Chalices, so that's kind of awkward that this is there. So that means for the next game, if there is a next game, we're going to bring back our Crashes, probably over the Empties because we're on the play, but All right, Chromox is annoying. So we're going to get an island here and just cast this Ponder. All right, so this changes the plan a little bit. So we're going to put empty on the bottom, and then draw Dark Ritual. And then next turn, we can, like, Uber Dead them if they don't Thalia us, which, granted, they're on 5 cards. They might be missing land 2 or the Thalia. So, and the fact that they haven't just slammed Thalia here makes me think that they don't have it. So next turn, we're probably good just to kill them. So next turn, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So we're going to empty next turn. Because we're going to have Chain of Vapor to bounce Chalice. Ooh, that's good. They just had it all. I don't know why they slow rolled that. All right. I'm not going to concede, but this is not looking good for us. We're going to have to discard next turn, and I'm probably just going to discard the Chrome Mox. Or no, I'm just going to discard this Empty the Warrens. Yeah, you can port me. We're super dead. If our next draw step isn't a land, I'm probably just going to concede. Because we just need to draw lands to get out of this. I probably should have discarded Burning Wish instead, because Empty's better from hand with Thalia in play. And that's probably what's going to end up happening. But it's fine. Also, we're 2 lands away from wishing for Pulverize, which is annoying. So. Yeah, we're super dead if we don't draw a land. Our opponent's going to get like Batterskull and clock us. Yeah. This is a window though. Thoughtseize does not cut it, so we're gonna go to the next one. All right. So we're gonna take out the last 2 ponders for 2 crashes, and have this be our list. Again, we're just gonna try and get them. Yes, I'd like to play first. All right, this hand's great. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna fetch a swamp on turn 1. We have a red source in the Lotus Petal, so we're probably gonna be able to Thoughtseize them. Yeah, I think Wish Claw is a great, and I just wanted to see if how the artifact balance would feel with the extra Mox Opal over the Chrome Mox, just to see if it felt significantly different. So far, not much, but so right now this hand empties for 6 on turn 2, which is probably not good enough. So we're just gonna hope to draw like spells and mana off the top, which our deck is usually pretty good at. Our opponent's already on 6 and is probably considering what card to put on the bottom. But we do get like 2 free turns in this matchup, which is great. Unless they found like a Deafening Silence. And okay, so our opponent has Molt of 5. This is good for us, especially when we're gonna hit them with this turn 1 Thoughtseize. So our opponent has kept 5. So we're gonna fetch for our basic swamp. Cast Thoughtseize. And we're going to take their Chalice. And pass the turn. So now they're probably just going to play land Aether Vial, assuming they don't draw something better. Stoneforge Mystic does kind of turn off this Goblin's plan. So I'm kind of hoping just to draw Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, that was not what I was looking for. So we're just going to pass the turn. They're probably going to port us off of black here. Or they're just going to slam Stoneforge. Unless they drew another card that matters. So. Yeah, Opal gets a nice bump from playing all the other artifacts. Alright, so they're just going to slam Stoneforge. I really like Opal against like Wasteland matchups where you can just be like artifact, 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 and have it be really good. So I really like a discard spell here. If we draw a discard spell here, I think we just win. All right, that doesn't really do anything for us right now. So I'm gonna play Volcanic, and then we're gonna play Burning Wish. And so here we're gonna get something. If I was smarter, we could have gotten Ponder. But I was thinking about either getting Echo of Eons. Ooh, never mind. I'm just going to get this card and take their Batterskull. So next turn, we're going to make like 8 or 10 goblins. You can play your Giver of Runes, that's fine. Because they probably can't beat 8 to 10 goblins, and then we get time to rebuild as well. Yeah, Opal's great against like the discard Delver decks. That's kind of the best place for it. When it was first brought up, I wasn't a giant fan, but it's been a lot better than I thought. I thought there was going to be a lot more tension between Opal and Chrome Mox, and turns out half the time Opal effectively pitches to Chrome Mox, or effectively together they make 1 mana, which is kind of cool. And they would have in other lists where Opal would have been a colored card. I have had a couple times where I've really hated that Wish Claw is an artifact and can't pitch to Chrome Mox, but I mean that's just kind of what comes with the territory of the tensions within the deck. So our opponent has probably found Chalice of the Void on 1. That's very good. So I'm hoping just to draw another mana here. This counts as another mana. So here we're going to fetch up Badlands. So we're going to play Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, Rite of Flame, let it get countered, and empty the Warrens. Because it definitely does not get better for us. I don't know if this is going to win. Our opponent probably just draws creatures, but this is going to buy us time against whatever they're doing to let us find a crash or just more cards to go off again. Also, just attack them and prevent them from attacking us. So, also note that that Giver of Runes is not significantly different than Mother of Runes here, even though it has the 2nd toughness, because it would just tap and give itself pro white, so it wouldn't happen anyway. All right, they're going to port something here. It honestly doesn't matter. They're going to make whatever decision makes the most sense for them. That's fine. I don't even know what I want to draw here. I think just drawing Ad Nauseam is probably great. Thoughtseize is dead. That's annoying. Goblin Smash. So we're going to block 2, take 6, go to 14. So this does not win, but this is the best line we could have come up with. I'd love to draw Crash. I'd love to draw Infernal Tutor, or Burning Wish, or any card that's not a cantrip or a discard spell. No, you can't Chalice check an M2GO. I don't know about League's better than Chrome Mox for Chain of Vapor shenanigans, but I've definitely had a couple of times where I will Chrome Mox imprint a blue card, Vapor bounce CMox and then bounce their thing in order to like convert colors of mana. I've done that a couple of times to convert black and red in the same turn, when I have like basic island. So um, that's definitely a fun thing. All right, so they decided to attack here. So that means that they found something to play off their Aether Vial, or just the actual best. So maybe we're losing to Death and Taxes today. Sure. We're going to put this into play, even though there's only one more land it can fetch, which is the Underground Sea. And I think we have to stop attacking. Which is kind of annoying. So, also they can attack free with Thalia, because A, they can give it pro red, and B, they can just bounce it with Caracas. So, Giver plus Thalia is kind of a hard lock against us. So I'm not entirely sure what we're hoping to draw at this point. I think it's just artifacts. I don't feel a great need to block this yet, although we might not get chances later. So we're just going to block it now. So we're going to fob off these goblins as best we can. I think our line at this point is to draw another Chain of Vapor and Burning Wish to find Grape Shot, so that we can force them to bounce it, although that's kind of an expensive turn. Sure, whatever. All right, second empty is not bad. Now we can, if we start drawing mana again, we can make more idiots. But I'm not feeling optimistic about this game. I think our hand just lined up poorly, and it's possible we should have mulliganed on turn 1. So, you're right, Chain doesn't work with Chalice. Too many cards. But Thalia can be the Abyss for a while, because when we want to block it, it's going to matter. So, alright, double port, whatever. I think I just want to start drawing zeros and artifact mana to start to turn on this Mox Opal so that we can like add Nas in response to these port activations. Well, this is a magic card. So now we do have Chain Up as an out. I'm still not feeling optimistic about this, unfortunately, but it's fine. Our opponent is probably better at combat math than we are, so that's why they aren't like pro-redding the Thalia, and then we can't like attack through or whatever. If this, that probably names Lion's Eye Diamond, which is pretty good. Yeah. Um, it should be in this side. I thought I updated it, but it might just be wrong. Is the Wishclaw Talisman in the deck in Cardboard Live? All right, yeah, we're not winning this game. There are too many lock pieces. We're just gonna move on to the next one for higher entertainment purposes. Um, huh. The sideboard's pretty wrong, and so is the main deck. I guess it didn't update correctly. Um, hmm. Let me just edit that real quick, I guess, then. All right. All right, this hand is great. We're going to keep this. Our opponent has mulligan to 6. Opponent is playing Death Shadow. Interesting. All right, so Cardboard Live should be updated. Might be slightly off, but we'll look at that again after the game. Yeah. All right, so because they shocked, I don't feel any need to like cast anything into Spell Pierce or something like that. I mean, granted, their Death Shadow they would have shocked anyway, so those should be a little bit more up to date in the Cardboard Live now, hopefully. Opponent is on 1 land, no cantrips. Interesting. So I'm gonna fetch up an island and then cast Brainstorm um, to hopefully bait them into countering it. I don't want to get dazed, but I'm happy to get Spell Pierced here. And then I think I'm just going to pass. They're going to Brainstorm response. All right. Interesting. All right, I'll take the Lotus Petal, but I don't think we want either of these lands. Actually, I'll take the Underground Sea and not the Lotus Petal. I think this game's going to go a couple turns more, and I just want to play more lands in case we get Wastelanded. We are going to shuffle on our upkeep, though. So I'm in no rush to cast either of these Thoughtseizes. It would be nice to know what's going on over there. But I am a little bit worried about Wasteland, even though they haven't played any lands, which maybe doesn't make as much sense. So I think next turn the line is going to be play Underground Sea, or upkeep fetch, play Underground Sea, cast Thoughtseize, cast Ponder, shuffle until we find a Wish. Yeah, definitely. And they Brainstorm at instant speed too, which is bad. So they did find a second land. If they test a discard spell here, that's also fine. We have so much mana. Alright, that's fine. Alright, you can cantrip all the day long if you want. We also look like an incredibly fair deck right now because we played 2 Scalding Tarns and fetched a basic island. So, like, I don't think our opponent is expecting us to, like, just cast ad nauseum. So it's possible they might be playing as if we're Miracles or something like that, given that those lists have existed when we played 2 Scalding Tarns, which people don't associate with Storm right now. Storm is very much, in most people's minds, a Polluted Delta and Misty Rainforest deck. So, alright. We're going to fetch Volcanic here. I think it's more likely that we're going to want to cast 2... No, we're going to fetch Badlands to play around Wasteland. That's great. So we're going to play Underground Sea. And we're going to start with this Thoughtseize. And see how they respond to that. If they Stubborn Denial, I'm going to pay with Island. I thought I saw their life total flash for a second, so if they're going to consider forcing all this, I'll take that. Alright. So they do have a Wasteland. Alright, they're dead. I'm going to take their days so that they can't bounce their... and they have to pay mana for their Stubborn Denial, but they're dead. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Um, so, alright, so take days. And we're going to try and maximize storm count here. So we're going to play Rite of Flame. If they Stubborn Denial, I'm thrilled about that. Yeah, that's the great part about Test is that you can just kind of like make a bunch of goblins, and even if they play Shadow, they probably just block and it dies. So, oh man, we were close to like just killing them with tendrils. If we'd been able to cast Arponder, like that would have been sick. If they hadn't cast their, or if we'd been able to cast Arponder, that would have been kind of sick. Yeah, you can wasteland us. And they can't even play their Death Shadow this turn, which is kind of hilarious. So we get to attack them down to 1. And then they play like a 12/12, and they're like, "Okay, that's fine, kill you." All right, they have chosen to concede. So against Delver style decks, we're going to bring in extra Empty the Warrens, and then we're going to take out a Wishclaw Talisman and a Burning Wish, because these are the two worst tutor effects, because Infernal Tutor finds Empty the Warrens and Ad Nauseam a lot easier than Burning Wish does, and because they're a black deck, they probably have Plague Engineer, so giving them a free tutor is not good if we're planning to cast a lot of Empty the Warrens. So, I don't know. One of my favorite things about Epic Storm is that sideboarding is so easy because we actually have like a very small sideboard because of the Wishboard. They do also have Ratchet Bomb. So just giving them a tutor effect to find whatever they want seems medium, in my opinion. Uh, Granted, there is the theory that if you go off early enough and you still have mana in play, like if you go for like a turn 2 combo on the play, and they get it, and they only have 2 lands to activate Wishclaw and then search for, you do get to duress them afterwards. Um, so, well, I don't care about Cage at all. There's exactly one card with Flashback in the deck, and that is this Echo Vions over here, which is kind of medium against Delver anyway. And if they null rot us, they oh, okay, cool. And if they null rot us, I'm okay with that. Yeah, if my opponent goes turn 1 Grafdigger's Caged, I'm over the moon because it means that they kept they effectively mulliganed and wasted mana on a card that doesn't do anything. Oof. I think with Cyrus winning the GP, a lot more people are picking up Ant just to play. It means they think that it's good and you can just it's a deck you can pick up, but it's not. Also, it's shockingly different than Test. I think it's much more different than people realize. Just from a even if you're behind the table, like I've played Ant before, and it feels a lot different than playing this deck, and it's like uncomfortable to play at this point for me because I'm just so used to the play patterns of Tess. Yeah, it feels like every time like Cyrus just wins an event, people bandwagon onto it, and then they realize, wait, this deck is way harder than we thought. This hand is bad. This hand is bad for a lot of reasons. It just dies to a discard spell, um, and we have 4 lands, and we don't do anything, so we're gonna mulligan. This hand's worse because it doesn't do anything. I don't really care if they have surgical extraction, because we don't really do anything with our graveyard again. Again, if they bring that in, I'm kind of happy about that. Um, this is already a mold of 4, but I'm happy about this being a mold of 4, ironically. So we're going to keep this. We're gonna put this Thoughtseize and this Brainstorm on the bottom, and we're gonna hope to draw a fetch land, and really hope they don't have like Daze. Actually, no, we beat Daze. You're probably right, Brian. I just don't think that either of those first two hands were good. Like, I don't think that four lands pedal empty does anything, and I don't think that the second hand with no payoff does anything either. Really? Yeah, I just don't like how much that hand folds to a discard spell. I mean, granted, this hand kind of folds too, but yeah. I don't know. I still don't like the first hand. Um, so what's in their hand? They're not casting cantrips. Well, we'll see after this combat. Um, so their hand is probably full of interaction. I don't know if I want to cast this Burning Wish. So we need to fetch Volcanic, which would open us up to Wasteland, which they may or may not be sandbagging, because they haven't had a target for it all game. If this trains with any sort of interaction, I think I'm okay with that. And we're on a clock, but I think I'd rather wait one more turn to cast it. Yeah. The first seven was four lands, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, and an Empty the Warrens. Okay, so because they're at 8, we're just going to get another Mox Opal if this resolves, but I really don't want this to resolve. Yeah. This can definitely be a matchup where our opponent just accidentally kills himself. Like, I don't think they should do any more damage to themselves at this point if they're understanding how the matchup works. All right, last draw step. If they count on this, we're conceding because we're just dead. But otherwise, we're going to make goblins, um, which they should know that we have because of the way we played out our turn one, to just survive here. Yeah, it might be that I misunderstood if they have fluster. That's or scythe. Okay, that's fine. So they thought scar themselves, milling a daze and a misty. Yep, storm being cast is what makes it so broken. So I'd love to draw another Lotus Petal or any artifact off the top, because we're just going to be chump blocking for days here. Again, they probably have just a bunch of counter spells in hand, and we just need to force our way through that. So I don't really expect this Brainstorm to resolve. I will... that was shocking. Uh, I don't think it's worth hitting them with two goblins here. Um, so I think with one it's fine, and then we'll hit them for two next turn. So we have enough mana to 10 Jewels them next turn because we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll also beat a daze. There's not much of a difference. Sometimes people leave in like Fatal Push or something just in case they think that there's like Xanted Swarm uh, or Hope of Gyriper. So it's not uncommon. All right, so Death Shadow is the Abyss. All right, so we're gonna start with Dark Ritual because this beats Daze the best. Yeah, I don't know how people actually sideboard, but okay, if this is Gurmag, I don't care. Well, I do kind of care because we're dead regardless. Um, so we're gonna fetch in our upkeep to give them less chances to wasteland us, but it's really bad if you do. I think our best draw is Lotus Petal. Chrome Mox is also okay. Um, Chrome Mox or Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond are both great draws. So, all right, upkeep. We're gonna fetch and find Badlands. Draw for turn. They should wasteland us here. Find Ponder. All right, so we just need 3 Storm, but we only have 5 mana. So we do need to cast this Ponder and hope to find something. I think we need to find exactly LED. So it's none of those cards. So we're going to shuffle that. What does Burning Wish do? I think we just die. All right, game 3. Maybe we won't mulligan to 5 this time. And it's definitely possible I was too aggressive on that first hand. I just don't like that hand because it doesn't really have that much of a plan at all. But I guess against Death Shadow, they are less likely to present a turn 1 threat than normal Delver because they have just less threats, and also half of them can't be played until like turn 3 or 4. So. Our opponent can't be making that many changes, but I'm not quite sure what we're waiting for from our opponent. Alright, yes, we'd like to play first. Alright, I like this hand. So we're going to keep this, play Island Ponder, and play out the Lion's Eye Diamond. I don't think they're bringing their pushes back in. I don't think Goblins is worth that, but it is quite the head games. So. Our opponent has mulligan to 6. So Island, Ponder. What does the Ponder give us? So we're looking for discard spells and mana. And this is definitely that. So we're going to stack this Royal Flame on the bottom, Defense Grid in the middle, and Lotus Petal on top. No, I'd like to not shuffle my library. And we're just going to play out our artifact mana. Storm doesn't matter as much with kind of the plan we're going for here, because we can kind of end up echoing them, depending on their turn 3 play. So we're going to play land, fetch up our basic swamp. And just play this defense grid. It's possible I should have waited one more turn to play around Spell Pierce, but I did say basic swamp. I got this nice cold snap, snow-covered swamp here. It's very pretty. I will pay for days here. Ooh, I like this. That means we're not getting spell pierced. If this gets forced, I am very happy. I will also sack Petal to protect our Wish from discard spells. Because next turn we can just echo them, and then they can't do anything about it. So. Yeah, grid's great. It's kind of like a two-maned Xanadu Storm that they can eventually beat, but it's way harder to remove. And turns out it's really hard to interact with artifacts on the stack. Like when people have Flusterstorms or whatever. Ooh, that's exciting. Oh, we can't actually brainstorm in response to their discard spell. That's a bit awkward, but they might not understand how our deck works, so they might just take brainstorm instead and not realize that they're dead. Okay, they took the correct line. Ooh, that's quite a play. So different in surgicals. Um, so this means that we have to win with empty, but we can probably present a lethal empty and discard spell them and just hope that they don't draw one of their answers to goblins over the course of one turn cycle. So, all right, second brainstorm's not bad. We start with the first one. Opponent, you can't do anything about this. I think these are good magic cards. What do you guys think? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. That feels dead to me. Our opponent has F6'd, which is quite smart of them. We're going to sack for black. Get Adnaz. Make a mana. And we have a land drop. So there are no Burning Wishes to find, but there are 3 empties in our deck, just to be aware of. Which there's one of them. So because we already have this Thoughtseize and we have Metalcraft, I'm going to stop here and not repeat this. So I'm going to play Badlands, Mox Opal. And then we are going to... what's the best way to do this? I think I'm just going to start with Dark Ritual. And then I'm going to Thoughtseize them. And then take their Brainstorm and leave them with a bunch of cards that don't matter. Storm is 8. Storm is 9. Ooh, we got it. All right. Oh, I need to update our record. I'm apparently bad at that. We are 1-1. Their hand was Double Daze and Blue Blast and a Brainstorm, and then they lost their Brainstorm. So they needed to find Land Engineer, which they couldn't in one draw step. So XJ Cloud was on Death and Taxes, and my hand just by Brainstorms didn't find anything in Game 3, so it didn't go well. And then in the first game, they just kind of had the nuts of mull the 5 into Thalia Stoneforge. Yes, we'd like to play first. This hand's great. We're going to keep this. This probably aims for a turn 2 kill. We could turn 1 empty for 10 with no protection. Opponent has gone to 6. What do you guys think? 10 goblins? Is that what you're feeling? Interesting. So they've been on Naya Prison? Oh, okay. We're gonna make this bigger so I don't misclick. Here's the goblins. And we have 10 friends now. Alright, opponent. How do your friends do against our friends? So, Brian, do they just have like chalices and stuff post board? We got the goblins. Eh? Opponent? Opponent is too scared to make a play at this point. I don't know. They're probably just considering the value of just conceding to hide information. So. Alright, there's a Mox Diamond. And a Sylvan. Well, they might be hoping to hit, like, Plague Engineer or something like that. That would be unfortunate. Uh-oh. This feels like a crop rotation for Tabernacle. Green Suns for 1. Play 2 Dryad Arbors. Alright, opponent, you got another turn. I don't know why they blocked with both. I don't know if there's a huge difference between 1 and 2 life. I mean, maybe if you care about fetch lands, but like 3 mana is the point you're willing to hit. You're wanting to hit anyway. Alright. So Defense Grid is bad. Chain of Vapor is good. Crash is good. Ponder comes out versus Prison. According to what I actually found online, they've been on bug stuff, or they've been on Obzon stuff from their format playoff. So they did actually have 3 Plague Engineer in their deck. This deck looks terrifying. So we're going to do this and run it back. Yeah. I like the Tower of the Magistrate. That's spicy. Protection from artifacts. So. I like this hand. This hand does the good magical things. We get to fetch for a swamp and cast Thoughtseize. Because looking at their list, they have like 3 wastelands. That's a lot of wastelands. And a Ghost Quarter. We're gonna get Ghost Quartered, guys. Alright, so they've decided to Chalice on Zeros, which is A-okay with me. Does that just let us kill them? Hmm. Crash is very strong. They do play 3 Plague Engineer, so I think I do want to cast this Thoughtseize just to see what's up. In case. It is. But I want to cast this Thoughtseize. I don't know if that's too greedy or not, but we can just make 10 goblins on turn 1 again. All right. Yeah, you're right. All right, we're gonna get ourselves this Badlands. We're gonna float a red mana, and then we're gonna cast Crash. Pull up your Chalice. Play this Mox Opal. We're making 10 goblins. Yeah, Crash is great. Turns out, when you don't have to cast mana for your Chalice answers, they don't actually buy your opponent's time. So, but our opponent does need just to go land engineer, and then we feel kind of sad. I think they have a Plague Engineer. Yep. Yikes. All right, that's fine. They had pretty good odds at finding it, so we're not completely out of it though. Um, they did keep both their cards, so we're gonna see what's up. These are a lot of scary Magic cards, and I just misclicked. I don't think we're winning anyway, but yeah. All right. We're gonna run it back and hopefully do better than that. Yeah, I think you're still right, Brian. Like, giving them the extra turn to find the out is scary, and also they might have just Gaddock Teagued us, which they probably found off of. They probably found Engineer and Gaddock Teague off of the Sylvan, and then we'd have been like super screwed. So there's that aspect too. Okay. We do have to Thoughtseize them on turn one, which is annoying if we get Wastelanded, because they're probably going to keep turn one thing. So, and they're going to 6. They've kept 6. Thoughtseize you. Which of these cards do we care about? I'm honestly considering taking Mox Diamond here, because that's the card that gives them the most explosiveness. Um, uh, if they draw like a Chalice or something off the top. So I'm going to take Mox Diamond. And then so we beat Chalice on 0 if they draw that. We're going to play out our Lions on Diamonds. And if we get Force of Vigored, we get Force of Vigored. So next turn we should want to draw any initial mana source. So Dark Ritual. So 4 Dark Rituals, 6 plus 10 zeros is 14, plus 12 lands is 28. So we have 28 outs next turn. Oh, and we're even Thoughtseize proof. All right, our opponent has chosen to green Suttons for 0. Ding. Oh, thanks, Yaganoar. I probably just butchered that, but thanks for the follow. All right, we're going to snag this Badlands. Make black and red mana. Find Ad Nauseam. Leave a red mana floating. Thanks, Unorthodox Bird, for the follow. Glad you've been hanging out for a while. All right, Deck. All right, that was very good. Hey, 8-Bit MM. Thanks for the follow. Got a nice little follow train going on here. I wish this ad nauseam was better though. I'd like any 0 in my deck. Ooh. So we can't make goblins. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep flipping. So what happens if we pass the turn? Probably bad things. Although we do have these Chain of Vapors to help us out, and this Crash. If we flip a 0, we'd probably like have to like brainstorm into stuff. So I think it's probably actually safer to stop. I think I'm going to stop. So next turn we'll have 3 mana, 4 mana, 5, 6, 7 mana. All right, Petal's good. We're going to keep going. We are going to stop there. All right, we need a brainstorm. Yeah. We need this brainstorm to be good, right? Before I do something dumb. So we can make goblins, but that's really bad because they have these plague engineers in their hand. We can generate more storm off of Crash when we want to do that. Can also do Chain of Vapor tricks, but we need the blue mana for brainstorm. So we're going to start with that. Hopefully finding more 0s and a Burning Wish. We found more 0s, so we're going to put back these fetch lands. We're going to pitch a Chain of Vapor. I don't think we have enough mana. Or, yeah, no, we do. Yeah. We're going to pitch this Brainstorm. Yeah, Chain Tricks just get us there. Yep, not tapping Opal would be bad. We don't need to bounce the diamond, so we're going to not do that. All right, recast you. Pitch Thoughtseize, I guess. Recast Opal. Make our 8th mana. Make another black. Hold control. Cast Infernal Tutor. Crack LED for black. Get this Burning Wish. Cast this Burning Wish. Get this Tendrils. Dead. Dead. They're so dead. I don't think we could. Well, we could have had a couple more storm if we wanted to play around with things, but I think we win it even if we stop on Adnaz, but whatever. It's fine. We are 2-1. Wishfall has been great, Mr. Stuffalufgus. I really enjoy the card. There's a lot of play to it. Um, let's see if I can't fix my deck list real quick. Um, come on, Cardboard Life. I thought I set you up earlier. Um, what's missing from my sideboard? 3 empty, a Tendrils, 2 Crash, a Duress, a Pulverize, an Echo. Was it missing Grape Shot? Huh. Alright, so that's actually correct now. Yes, I would like to play first. Sometimes you do have to count your goblins for combat math. We've had a couple of Infernal tutorings on combat math if you guys want to check those out over on theepicstorm.com. Should be a link in my bio. Solnox plays a lot of things. Um, I don't know what to do with this hand. Um, but I think this is fine. We're going to keep this. They play a lot of depths, so we're going to like discard them. Ooh. So good luck, Brian, on your fantasy football. Um, I'm kind of tempted to take Abrupt Decay here. Just so that they like Veteran Explorer, like make mana with it with Tower, and then we get the basic lands. But that can't possibly be right. With Opal, I'm gonna take this Abrupt Decay and try and cheese a win out of their Veteran Explorer. It's very greedy, but that's what we're on stream for, is to be exceptionally greedy. Um, Another very greedy line would be casting Wish for Dark Petition here. If they draw Cabal Therapy, that's just like terrible, and they probably think we're like some fair deck right now. So, all right, have a good night, Unorthodox Bird. I don't think Wishing for Dark Petition is going to win the game here, so hopefully we can just do that next turn. Or so they decide to play Dryad Arbor. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna draw the Mire and just get Echo. Then we can Thoughtseize ourselves. Yeah, we can definitely pay 6 next turn. That's true. Does have a front half. And then we get to draw 8 cards functionally, which is better than our opponent's 7, because one of them's also a Time Twister. I guess they're going to cast a 2-mana spell here or something. Alright, that's kind of a blowout. Yeah, it's definitely fine. Alright, we're going to go for it. Our opponent can't beat us with this card. They can only cut us off of 1 mana. Or they can cut us off of 2. Yeah, that's what I was coming to the conclusion of starting on Chrome Mox, pitch Thoughtseize. And then we play our Lotus Petal. And then we play our Mox Opal. And here they probably crack their Deed. Echoing without a land drop isn't my favorite, but I think we're pretty favored to win because none of their cards matter. Alright, we're going to make blue-black. Oh, it kills their Dryad Arbor too? That's hilarious. Fetch up, I don't know, Swamp. Time Twister. Oh, this is great. So, what are the odds that they have another Deed? If they have another Deed, we just Twister again next turn, so it's fine. So we're going to Mox Pitch Ponder. Make idiots. Now we have a lot of friends. Do we just wheel them into Engineer? That's gross. I suppose we get our last basic, which is kind of sick. Four mana. What does this card do? I don't think this card does anything. Whenever the other creature you control dies, get an experience counter. In your end step, choose target creature card. Okay, yeah, I don't think we care about that card at all. Still don't think we care about that card. And they are just dead here. Oh, or maybe not. We can only make 4 Storm. Never mind. Um, we cannot grape shot them here, so we're going to pass the turn, grape shot them next turn. Ah, Brian, is your fantasy football league not going well? Yeah, just a storm shy of grape shotting them, but it's fine. They can't win anyway. I don't even know what game that was. That was probably game 1. So I think I want these chain of vapors. Um, I don't know what they're playing. So there's a question of whether or not to sideboard and crash. Or they're just playing like um, it's probably not worth it to bring in crash. There's Nick Fit. We'll cut a Chromox and what? Oh no, that's just an easy swap. We're done. This is a hand of magic cards that I enjoy. So we're gonna fetch a non-basic, so that if they like do things, and we're also gonna playing out artifacts is actually kind of awkward in this hand, but we might not have the chance, so it's fine. They should just name Lion's Eye Diamond here, so I'm expecting to lose this card. They also might name Infernal Tutor, uh, or Brainstorm. So, ooh, they named Infernal Tutor. Lotus Petal. That's a Ponder. Alright, so we're going to fetch an Underground Sea. And then cast Ponder. These are some good Magic the Gathering cards. So we're going to, yeah. I don't think we can kill them this turn. I don't think the colors line up. So we'll leave the tutor on top of our deck. So we're going to put Ritual on the bottom, Tutor in the middle, LED on top. We're not going to shuffle. And then we're going to play our stuff out. Because they know that we have a Lion's Eye Diamond. And we kind of just murder them next turn. I'm also going to cast this Ponder next turn because it just draws Dark Ritual, so that's basically plus a mana. Sure, you can therapy me again. That's fine. You can take my empty. The best card is on top of our deck. Yeah, you're one short. We could empty, but like, or no, we can't even empty because the empty's in our hand. Um, so, sure. I think it's just another Cabal Therapy that's gonna like either take our Ponder or take our empty. Yeah, that's fine. So there's no reason to play this land because we're going to draw one off of Ad Nauseam, and we don't need to take the extra damage there. So, see, found a land already. This Ad Nauseam is going much better than the previous one. Our opponent has decided to concede. Cool. Hey, how are you doing? Clear. I don't know how to say your name. Um, you look like a bot. So I'm going to ignore you. All right. update our record. We are 3-1. Yeah, I'm gonna ban that in a sec. So, play league match. We're gonna ban them. That's my first ban, guys. You have witnessed the first time somebody's been banned on my channel. What a momentous occasion. No, that's definitely something spammy. If you are a real person, like private message me and we'll figure it out. But I don't think you're a real person, so. Alright. Oh, this is a good hand of magic cards. Oh, we're playing against Cliffy81s. We are playing the Storm Mirror. So we're going to keep this. I'm excited. I love the Storm Mirror. If they don't cast a discard spell on turn 1, I think we just win. So, no discard spell. Hey, you're dead. Lotus Petal. Ugh. Alright, we're going to play this Volcanic Island. What do you mean? How can I not count? This is a turn 2 kill. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Although he went top bottom with his preordain. It's probably worth it to pedal Thoughtseize then. Yeah. So he's not hiding any cards. He doesn't know the top card of his library. I'm just going to take your LED. I don't think Cliffy realized he was playing the mirror. He's probably preordaining for a discard spell. Or just to kill us, but I don't think he can kill us this turn. And I'm saying he because I know my opponent is Michael Clifford, a very good Storm player, so. Who may also be streaming, but we're not going to go look at his stream, so. Alright, our opponent has cast Duress. Do they take our Burning Wish? They do. Alright, let's see if I stack this Brainstorm correctly. I did. Alright, they gotta be dead from this, right? Did we find 2 artifacts, actually? Well, this is awkward. I think we need to keep flipping. There we go. Alright, game 1. So we are going to take out our defense grids and our empty the warrens for 2 Tormod scripts, if I can select them, and this duress. Bad cards for good cards. I don't actually like a ton of discard in the Storm Mirror. It's just that duress is probably better than empty most of the time. So we're going to run this back. I hate drawing Adnaz on the draw when my opponent knows what we're doing. I think I'm going to keep this just because it has so many outs to be a turn 1 kill. We're at 4 mana right now, and we have Disruption. Granted, it's not the best Disruption by any means. It's just better than nothing. But if we get Discard Spelled, it's going to feel kind of bad, and we're going to have to look for more of a Echo of Eon's line. So I think I'm going to keep this and not be exceptionally happy about this. So yeah. He just has to take Ad Nauseam here. I don't think there's another play for him. If we draw LED, then we just kind of like echo Vions and hope. So all right, we're just gonna play our stuff out. Actually, that's a lie. We're just gonna get Echo now. Also note that our opponent would be dead if they had taken like our Tormod script or something like that. So there's that value there. Our opponent's next discard spell probably takes our Dark Ritual if they cast another one. So there's that. So maybe it was a little bit aggressive to cast that Burning Wish, but I think overall we're fine. The key to being the Storm Mirror is like playing quickly, and yeah, so here goes our Dark Ritual. The key to being the Storm Mirror is just playing around discard like 24/7, which is why I didn't like that hand, because if we get discarded, it kind of like goes nowhere. So our opponent's definitely favored right now. Yeah. If we draw our own Thoughtseize, that's pretty good. Alright, that's fine. We're just going to pass here. We need a second blue anyway, so drawing any fetch land, or any non-land, or any land that's not Badlands is great right now. But we are probably dead, so this looks like Tutor for mana. Thoughtseize is great for us right now. Ooh, I thought Clissy was playing this. Land. That also works, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that does not work. Um, we're super dead next turn. But yeah. Well, it doesn't actually have Fluster up right now, but I'm gonna find another Dark Ritual. I did math wrong. We need to find like exactly the lines that I'm there. We're pretty dead. We are forcing him to add nos though, but that's much better with these in his deck. So we'll see what he does. He has what 5 mana right now, and probably more in his hand. Um, I think we're just gonna crypt to shut off a Cabal Ritual. I don't think it gets better than that. I don't. So that's probably gonna be my plan. Yeah, it's definitely got some weird timing because it's like pseudo sorcery speed. Um, uh, like the activate only on your turn clause, so it's technically an instant by some measure of the word. But yeah, it's definitely a weird timing thing. Yes, you can Thoughtseize me. This is actually interesting that he's Thoughtseizing. That means I don't know what that says about his hand. That suggests to me that he has a Flusterstorm. Well, it could just hand me that he just doesn't cast Ad Nauseam there. Flusterstorm's the only card that makes sense, right? Like, I'm not crazy? Or maybe he just has, like, Piff Tendrils in hand? Yeah, so we can't cast the front half of Echo. So we'd have to Thoughtseize ourselves and then do it. But that feels really bad if Cliffy has Fluster, which is kind of the card I'm putting him on right now because he had 5 mana and he needed 6. So I don't think any of the cards in his hand make mana because otherwise I think he just casts Ad Nauseam. So maybe he has like Piff, something, and Flusterstorm. So I think I'm just going to cast the Thoughtseize and probably have it flustered. Oh wait, do we just win? There's no way he brought an empty. Oh, he plays 2 Tendrils? Well, oh well. If I lost because of that, I lose because of that. That's fine. I don't feel like you leave in both in the Storm Mirror, but maybe I'm wrong. Alright, so now they've got Veil up, but that's fine. And if I get flustered here, I made the wrong play last turn. It's fine. I'm gonna just brainstorm here because I don't think we get another turn regardless. So we're gonna take 4 off of our ad nauseam and be kind of at a low life total, but it's fine. There's no empty in our deck. Oh, we can't. That was dumb. We can't cast Thoughtseize anyway. All right. Well, that's kind of a painful 2 hits. We should be at 1 higher life because I forgot that they had played Veil, but I think we'll be fine anyway. So we can't Tendrils them, but fortunately we're the Epic Storms. We got this little card called Grape Shot. So we're gonna stop at 2 because there's so many 2s in our deck. Play this Lotus Petal. Play this Chrome Mox. And then we're gonna pitch Thoughtseize. Hopefully they don't have Flusterstorm. That would be unfortunate. $14, $15. Yeah, that's true. All right. Our opponent has conceded. We have won the day. Uh, Thanks everybody for tuning in. We got the sick 4-1. I don't think we ever actually drew Wishclaw Talisman the whole league, so my apologies for that. That's kind of the downside of testing it as a one-of, is that sometimes you just never draw it. With our loss being to Death and Taxes, that's a little embarrassing. But, it happens. It's not a 100% matchup. Sometimes they just, nut draw you. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you guys want more The Epic Storm content, please go check out theepicstorm.com. We got a bunch of great people writing articles there and making other videos. We'll probably get this stream replay up at some point. So everybody have a good night.